Welcome back. Now what we need to do is that we need to work on the change password functionality. So in order to do that, we need to open up the account.php because this functionality, this feature is in the account.php. And here in the account.php, we have the account here, and then if you scroll, you'll find that we have here a form for changing the password. So this form, let's start working on this form. As usual, we need to say method. We need to give this form a method, and the method is going to be post. And then I'm going to also give it a action. So the action is just going to be the same page. I'm going to say account.php. And the password has a name, password, and the confirm password has also a name, confirm password. And then the button, we need to give the button a name. I'm going to say here name, and the name for this button is going to be change underscore password. Change password. Very, very simple. Change password. Now we need to work on the PHP part. So at the top, since this is a post request, we need to say if, and then we need to check the post change password parameter. I'm going to say is set, and then I'm going to here say post. I'm going to say is set post, and I'm going to pass the change password button, change password, because remember the button, I have given the button here a name called change password. The next step is that we need to get the name, we need to get the password and the confirm password from these fields. And to do this, here inside this if statement, we need to say here password is going to be equal to post password, and the confirm password, I'm going to say here confirm password, here confirm password is going to be equal to post confirm password, post confirm password. And now what we need to do is that we need to get a code that we already created, which is verifying that the password that the two passwords match, and also the password is not less than 6 characters. And we already have that code in the register. If you go to the register, you'll find that we have this code. So let's copy this code in order not to repeat this code. So I'm going to copy this code, and then I'm going to paste it here. I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to paste it here. However, this code is going to be a little different. If passwords don't match, we need to redirect to the same page. We need to say header location account.php, and then error is equal to password don't match. And if the password is less than 6 characters, we need to say location and then account, and then here error is equal to password must be at least 6 characters. And else, if there is no error, we need to say else if no errors. And before I continue, you need to make sure that the curly braces, the number of curly braces is correct. So here we have 1, 2, 3, and here 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. This is the closing. This is the opening, and this is the closing curly bracket, and this is for the else. So make sure that you don't have any problems. And I'm going to push this code so that you see the structure very well. So here, in case we have no errors. So if we don't have any errors, what we want to do is that we want to make a query. So in order to make a query, we need to import here at the top. We need to say include, and then we need to say server /connection.php. And then we need to use the connect here. We need to say con, and then prepare. And then what we want to do is that we want to update the password. So to update the password, we need to say update users, and then set password password is equal to question mark, actually user password, user underscore password, user password is equal to question mark, where 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 user underscore email is equal to, again, question mark, user email is equal to question mark. And after that we need to execute this. So in order to execute this, we need to say we need to store this first in a statement. I'm going to say here stmt is equal to this, and then we need to say stmt, and then first we need to bind param, and we need to bind two things. We need to bind the password and the email. So we need to say user the password is this password. So first we need to bind the password. So we need to say comma and then password, and then comma, and then email. So the email is in the session. Remember, the email is in the session. So to get the email from the session, we need here to say user email is equal to user is equal to session user underscore email, and here I'm going to say user email. And before I bind, we need to hash the password. So I'm going to say MD5. Here I'm going to say MD5, and then I'm going to pass the password inside the MD5. This is considered one of the best practices, and if you want to know more about PHP best practices and security best practices, you can take my course about that. I'd highly recommend taking this course if you really want to know more about security best practices of PHP. So after this, what we want to do is that we want to execute. So I'm going to say here stmt, and then we just need to execute. It's very similar. If you check this code out, you'll find that it's similar to other codes. So it's similar to this. For example, we bind the param and then we execute, and that's it. But we don't here. The difference is that here we get the result. Here we prepare and then bind the param and then execute, and then we get the result. But here, since we are just updating, we don't need to do anything else. We just need to check if password has been updated or not. If this is true, we can here say header, and then location, and then account .php, and then message is equal to password has been updated successfully. Else, if the password has not been updated, then we need to do the same. We need to copy this exit, or we need to copy this header, and then we need to paste it here, and then we need to say error instead of message, error, and then we need to say could not update password. And now what we want to do is that we want to store messages. So to store messages, to display actually messages. So in order to display messages above the form, here above this form, account this form, above this form, I'm going to display two P tags. The first P tag is going to be for the errors, and the second one will be for success messages. So here I'm going to say class text center, and the style color is gonna be red. And in between, I'm gonna say here PHP, and then I'm gonna say if is set get, if is set get error. If there is an error, then we need to display it. We need here to say echo, and then what do we want to echo? We want to echo the get error, get error. Pretty simple. And in case of success, we need to copy the same exact paragraph, this paragraph, and then we need to paste it below here. And then we need to say, instead of red, I'm going to say green. And then I'm going to say, if is set get message, then we need to display the message. So that's it, very simple. Let me save and let's head on over to the browser to test. So I'm going to head on over to the browser and I'm going to refresh first. And then I'm going to here display, as you can see here, it's going to say logged in successfully because I displayed the message. Because in the login, by the way, in the login I passed, upon logging in, I passed this message. Logged in successfully, and in case of error, couldn't verify password. So here, let me here update my password. So I'm going to type a new password. I'm going to here type a new password and see what's going to happen. So I'm going to type here a new password, and then I'm going to click on change password. And as you can see here, I have a very simple error. It says account was not found on the server, and this is a very simple error. The error is because I have here in the form, I should say not in the form, in the code, I should say account. Let me check one more time. Account this. So the error is here. I should say account.php error is equal to blah blah blah. So that's it. And another error that I have is here. I should say confirm camel case password. So we need to make sure that we don't have errors before I test one more time. Let me now save and test. So I'm gonna save and let me go back and let's test. So let me remove this get request and let me refresh. So now let me type a new password. I'm gonna here type a new password and test with a new password. So if I click on change password, as you can see, it says here password has been updated successfully. And if password don't match, for example, if I type here a password and in the second field I type another password, it's gonna say password don't match. If I type a password that's very short, let me here type a password that is very short, and then if I click on change password, it's going to say password must be at least 6 characters. So this is how it works, and this is you will allow users to change their passwords if they want to. And another thing that I wanted to talk about is upon registering, after the user registers, we will display this message. User was not this one, actually this one. You registered successfully. So we have this register message. You can display it here in the account. You can display it in this account here. Here register success. Let me say register underscore success. And here I'm going to say register. Here we don't need, actually here we don't need a we just need error. So here register success. So in the account, what we want to do is that we want to display this message above this form. In the account, we want to display it above not this form, above this name. So here I'm going to say P. I'm going to copy this P. I'm going to copy this P. And then I'm going to say I'm gonna say green, and then I'm gonna say if get register underscore success, then display the register underscore success. Similarly with the login, we have here a message. Remember in the login we have error and message. We can say instead of message, let's say login underscore success, and here that's it, login success. So in case of success, I'm going to display this message as well. I'm going to copy this paragraph, and let me copy this paragraph, and then let me paste it here, and instead of register success, I'm going to say login success, login underscore success, and here login underscore success, and let me save and let's test this. So now in the page, if I log out, and if I try to log in, let me log in now. Let me log in one more time. So if I log in, guess what? If I log in, a message will be displayed. So if I click on login, as you can see, it's gonna say here logged in successfully. Similarly with the registration, if you register successfully, another message will be displayed here. So now our this area is complete. The account info as well as the change password area, both are complete.